Hi YouTubers, and thank you for tuning in to the Dice video on YouTube. Of course, this is going to be very different. I'm just doing some work here on the computer at the moment here. I'm actually doing some work right in front at the moment. And I've actually got a lot of things that I'm going to speak here. And even though it's freezing cold outside, that's why I'm staying in. But the real reason why I'm making this video in my room at the moment is because I've actually got a lot of things to tell you so far this week, because, you know, how can I really say this? This is not a live stream, this is me making a literal video, because as far as you guys on my YouTube channel may know me as a YouTube producer, I'm in a totally different room of the same house, but I'm actually sort of thinking, what's the plan for this week? Because obviously, being in this room has actually been quite cramped, and it's actually been an absolute nightmare, because given the fact that I actually had to basically wait for about 2 to 3 weeks for the whole house to be refurbished, and what I'm sort of thinking is that after this week, what I will do, actually around the second half of this week, I'm going to move all of my stuff to the big room that I normally tend to make videos of. So, well, here's my thought. I might as well just reallocate all of my stuff by Thursday night, which will be this week's Thursday. But then there's another dilemma. In fact, there's a vast wave of dilemmas right inside of my brain here, without biting my lips here. And actually, by the way, I had a mouth ulcer, and it's actually getting better. And I mean, even though it's still painful, well, actually a little bit painful, it's actually getting better, because I've actually managed to apply lots of salt water. Yeah, I can actually see why. I know it's sort of persistent, but the pain is absolutely gone. So I should probably use more salt water to get rid of it. And at least it's fading away. I've actually got 2 mouth ulcers, if you know what I mean. It's gonna probably freak out some people, but the mouth ulcers or canker sores I actually had 2 of them. I think there's one behind here. You see, this might actually shock some people watching this. There's one here, and then there's one right behind that. Okay, so there's actually one here, and there's also another one there. Probably people didn't. Oh man, I think people are gonna find it. Oh, that's a bit cringy. Seeing my mouth ulcers, but they are getting better now. Obviously, hopefully from like the next couple of weeks or so, once I move into the other room, I'll be totally and utterly fine. Right, so what else am I going to speak today in this video? Because I'm just bone lazy making videos and whatnot. So, I'm going to go ahead and have a bit of a tour of what's going to be happening around what's on the big room. Because I'll tell you what, and also the middle room, because there's been a whole stack of trouble recently. So yeah, here's the room that I'm actually staying at the moment here, only for about, well, let's just say for the next 3 days or so, or actually 4 days, 3 to 4 days actually, will do the job. And as you can see, boy, look at the utter amount of mess had I've been rummaging around here. And look at that, this is the middle room right here. I'm really shocked. Look how messy and gnarly this is. I think that there can stay. That big cupboard thing. There's some other stuff here that you haven't seen here. Sorry for presenting them a little bit too early. And there's more stuff right here. So basically, there's a giant onslaught of mess that's going around right at the moment in my house. So there's all of my storage stuff. I think these 2, or even that one there, I think these 3 can go back. That one there might stay. I might probably leave whatever the hell that is, because it looks quite decorative. I don't know what to really say. There's my coats here. I'm really surprised that, I think during the course of January 2026, it's been an absolute nightmare to get everything back into normal. But I'm not yet ready, still at the same time, ready to do more toy reviews. Of course, there's also a couple of train boxes as well. There's more flip-flop toy stuff that I need to straightforward do. There's so many flip-flop resources here, it's not funny. There's also this bin right here, and there's just all the other stuff that's just, oh my goodness me, look at that. That's just way too much stuff to really contend with. And actually, if I go around the other room here, look at the giant amount of mess that I've just made. Oh my gosh. It's gonna take about 3 to 4 days tidying this damn thing up because, well, it's not gonna be that complete. And as you can see, wow. Well, maybe in a way, seeing this, at first glance it looks messy. And also it feels very echoey because it's absolutely empty as hell. Like, literally the room was very empty. When I moved in, and actually when I moved in the entire, I don't know, stock. Oh man, I mean, look at the amount of. I'm sorry, I don't know how much time am I really going to contend with all of this because, there's a lot of other stuff I need to get through, and I really do miss being around on this room here because that's the room that I normally tend to do my toy reviews. Oops, I've just knocked a box, didn't I? Maybe I might as well put that box inside of where it goes because I want to try and get myself prepared. Although I think that's not that good. The amount of space I'm having at the moment is just absolutely less and less and less these days. I'm deprived of space. Oh my gosh. One of the neighbours will call the cops for seeing this. I don't think that's it as a problem. I think it's just me causing a problem for myself, utterly, I think. Yeah, there's so much paper around here, and it's not that fun when you have a very messy and giant pile of stuff like this that's lying around like so. I will have to move all of my stuff to the small room so that I can accumulate as much as possible, which is of course that room there. I'll try and transfer the computer and also the and also that bed and also some of the other storage stuff that I need to get with by this week's Thursday because I can't be around stuck and cramped for a long period of time. Some googly eyes everywhere. Man, how am I supposed to live like this in terms of just how arduous the conditions are at the moment here? Okay, there's actually one more thing I really want to straightforward show you. In that storage room, there's actually a really surprising toy inside here, and I saw this, and I went to a charity shop in Northfield, and I actually picked up this Jurassic World, Jurassic Park themed set. It's like a track set, and it's got like a car inside with dinosaurs. It's basically designed after the actual thing that you see in Jurassic World, or Jurassic Park. And I had to actually get this, because one thing I really like about this was, you get a nice, here's something I really like about this toy here. I paid for about £4 when I was at AGK. I actually got this from, I can't really tell which part of Birmingham I am. There was probably people were thinking, but where do you live? But there you go, this is the Jurassic World dinosaur track set. It looks a little bit like a cheap knockoff, but it's actually a legitimate product. So I just basically placed that as something that is going to be really fundamental as what I might cover in the future. There you go, it was from a donation bag. There's the donor number, if you know what to read. And I really like it actually. It goes up to about 7 meters of tracks. I don't know how big am I going to really accumulate this thing. This will actually have to be done in a very massive video. I'll tell you what guys, it is going to be a freaking complex video to produce because of the immensity and the size of the set. Okay, what I really like about this, it's the 4-wheel drive vehicle that you see in the films. And also, yes, you get nice bits of track pieces like so. I will have to cover that in another video's time because I'm not yet still ready to do some toy reviewing. And if I am going to be doing a toy review like this, it will have to be done once my room is fully back to normal. I'm sure about that. It's quite nice. You get your dinosaurs here, you get your T-Rex, you get your Brachiosaurus, your Velociraptor, and then you've also got other turnaround thingies. I like how this set actually works. I love this T-junction type thing. Quite a nice set in so many ways. Beautiful, that set. I might as well just have a good look of what this set has to offer because, well, it is wonderful in its ways, and I do like how sets are built in that sort of mannerism, if you like to call it, or if I like to call it, I suppose so. Oh, you know what? Maybe it's probably best. There you go. There's how much batteries it might probably take. What I'm going to do is probably leave this set for another day because I can assure you, it's going to be really mighty awesome. Sorry for the pun. And actually I might pick up some of these pieces of paper right up. And look at all the mess. And to contend with all of this, it's going to be a really big struggle for my mental health, but also for my energy as well too. I feel like, well, if I start tidying up now, I'll be running out of energy, because obviously all I've got now is another thing that's also been bugging me a lot. And there's actually a couple of things that have been bugging me still. I don't know what to really say. There's just so much stuff. I can't really go ahead and contend on, having to build a website, as much as I can, because obviously when I'm building, oh, that was very unintentional. Sorry, I didn't realise that piece of paper just got ripped apart. That was not cool. Anyways, I'm just going to assemble all of this stuff. And let me tell you, there's actually a couple of things I really want to blab about in this video. Don't want to really know about freaking Trump. He completely ruins the whole universe. A complete ruination, I suppose, hey? Right, so as I'm tidying up this freaking mess, there's a couple of things I really want to speculate while actually making the video here. There is a couple of things. I have got some rumours about going back to Malaysia in 2026, which I will have to, I don't know what to really say. I will have to probably make a couple parts about this, because going back to Malaysia during 2026 is going to be really risky. That was the same challenge that I did back in 2024, begging my parents just to go back there. More of a holiday, I guess, for more in a holiday tradition than just a funeral tradition, unlike what I had 2 to 3 years ago. Right, so I think, the Malaysia 2026 projects, I think for me, well, I'm not talking about the event, but I'm talking about my vacation, It's going to be very tricky because, for me, going back to Malaysia during 2026, as we've seen so many exchange rates rising, and we have seen so much, there's been so many bad news of late. There's been a lot of tariffs that have been placed so far in today's shopping and retailing and whatnot. Everything just costs money these days. It really sucks. I mean, where else in the world would you be that completely pouty about? I mean, who knows? It could be anywhere else around the world where shopping is not going to be that great these days. Or even buying a flight ticket to Malaysia. That's not even worth it, because I can honestly assure to you that going back to Malaysia during 2026 will not be the same as what I did back then in 2024 or 2023. I didn't do that in 2025, and yay, that was the first normal year to go back to the UK, I suppose, or to stay entirely on the UK. Oh well, let me just go ahead and show you something that really defined 2024. Of course, apart from the trains that I've purchased 2 years ago. In fact, it has been 2 years ago. Somehow if I look around in the storage room, I can't really remember what I actually have found. But what I do remember was some sort of book. And I think it was like a little travel book which had like Malaysia Airlines on it. Because I do fly with Malaysia Airlines. If I was, sometimes I just do that when I'm with Qatar Airways, because they're owned by the same alliance. I can't find where the book is, but I do know where it is. Strangely enough, that book really brought me back some sentimental memories of when I actually flew back to Malaysia for my vacation, and I still can't find it. But yeah, Malaysia was an awesome place to visit during 2024, and I have to say, I'm doing a lot of search-a-roonies for it, and I still can't find it. But I might as well just probably straddle back to where I was, because obviously going back to Malaysia of 2024 was just the crown jewel of the entire year, and it was the greatest of all time moment for it, wasn't it? I have to highly agree on that point. And yes, if I was going to be planning to do a flight to Malaysia for this year, and let's just say, if I was going to be doing a flight to Malaysia during, maybe Here's my thought. If I wanted to go back to Malaysia during 2026, so of course I am straightforward, pretending that I'm booking a flight because I'm not actually going back to Malaysia. As you can see, yes. No, I don't want that. I want Kuala Lumpur, not Kuala Terengganu. Okay, so if I wanted to go to a nice, awesome looking flight to Malaysia, I think most of the flights do seem to plummet during yeah, it's still too expensive. I'd probably say the later part of the year will be much more obvious if I was choosing a date. Okay, so I'd probably go for the 23rd of Feb to somewhere like, maybe somewhere around the 25th of March. I don't know. That's just me saying it as a person. I can't really find a very good, valuable sort of price to go for. Oh, okay. I don't know. I'm just straightforward seeing it as it is. Of course, yes, if I would have actually had 5 adults, that would have been really expensive. Okay, so obviously if I was going to times it by 5, that would be really expensive. How about if I try and book a flight on the same date that I flew back to Malaysia? So it was the 15th of November to, I think it was the 15th of December. Mind you, I don't know how much it would cost. But usually prices tend to plummet during the later part of the year, I think. Maybe around the 23rd of Feb. I'd say that... Actually, you know what? Maybe around the 26th of Feb. I can't really tell. This is very, very tricky. Oh, man. How the hell am I really going to book a flight? Oh, wow. That's interesting. Well, I could even spend maybe up until the 11th of March. Would that be quite good, eh? Let's say if I did 678.62 times 5. Okay, that would be... Yeah, you can see it's still relatively shockingly high to go back to Malaysia. I'm sorry about this, but maybe it's best not to. But, searching flights... Okay, so basically that's what it is. So the economy class, yeah, it's relatively expensive somehow. I wouldn't do this. Oh, look at that. There's 1 stop to Malaysia. No, I'm not going to do 2 stops with Aer Lingus. That would be freaking boring to do so. Honestly, Qatar Airways and or Malaysia Airlines, that would have been fairly fair somehow if you ask me. Oh, I'm actually so glad that I've used Malaysia Airlines to go there because, they all do fly within the same airspace. I think Qatar and Malaysia, the airline companies I'm actually on about. So, yeah, wonderful. And let me just vlog and chit-chat about Malaysia for a moment here. Now, of course, yes, every time when I think about going back to Malaysia, yes, there's a lot of expectations I really don't seem to meet up a lot somehow. And please let me vlog in this one very clearly, okay? Because as fun as this sounds, there is a lot of things I need to straightforward get my hang around before I go back to Malaysia with my relatives and stuff. And it's all down to other things. I've got to really think about my relatives at the moment as well too, that are living on the other side of my neighbourhood, which is actually, pretty far away. I'll probably somewhere, let's just say Northfield. Okay, so Northfield. Right. The other thing is that they can't afford to really go back to Malaysia all the time here. And even though they are living in the UK, and I'm pretty much a double citizen, so I'm a dual citizen, so I'm basically living in both the UK and Malaysia, because, my parents gave me birth here, and you can see, because it's freezing outside, look how thick my fur is. Can you see it? Like, literally, I'm pretty sure you can definitely tell that my fur is a lot much more thicker. And that's why I'm a bit more heavily built for more in the way of, cold weather and stuff. But, hey, you know what? That's just what it is, somehow. Anyways, so, what was I saying? So, Malaysia 2026 is going to be really tricky for me in a similar fashion to 2024. Because it'll be all my relatives, and then, yeah. That's the problem about it. And yeah, don't forget my father, but I don't usually tend to show my parents whenever I'm in holiday because of privacy reasons. But then I just initially had the thought, how can I contemplate this way? So my dad usually goes all the way to work like he always does now. He always goes back to work on well, let's just say on a Monday to Friday, but last week he was on call somehow, which obviously was urgent. And yeah, the hospital part is the main thing that actually seems to, it really seems to question me, I think, because whenever you think about going on holiday, you have to really think about how much time and how much do you really, like, this is the thing, like, going back on holiday is not very simple. The thing is, you have to really contend on other people who are working with you. Like, if you want to go on holiday, you have to have some serious permission going on here. That's what I mean it, because, not all people really want you to go back on holiday unless if you have a certain degree of, or a certain reason that has a high degree of letting you going back to that country or whatever place you fly to. I haven't got the gist of it, but you know the drill. You know how it feels. Planning flights, it's really erratic because I don't know. Let me move on to something that's a little bit much more fluffier and a lot much more enlightening to what I've done so far. But this is something that has nothing to do with Malaysia. But this is something that I've been troubling about. It's not the fun. It's not one of the best parts I've done so far. But I'm going to show you something that I've been doing so far every Monday night to Tuesday and possibly Wednesday. So let me just show you of what I've just done. Okay, let me try and jump cut here. Okay, this is the thing I've been doing here. This is, of course, my website. I've actually been working on this on Weebly, and I actually have been assisted by a person. So here it is. This is my website. This is the Flip Lab website, everybody. Has anyone seen it? So on my YouTube channel, yes, definitely awesome. But I think on my YouTube channel, it has basically nothing to do of what I tend to do on my website, because the website that I do is significantly different than what I do on my actual channel. I'm off to make a second channel to try and make some space and also to make some room for what the content actually is supposed to be, because of course, yes, I'd like to post as many videos as I can, but then at the same time, no, it wouldn't probably work for me, because given the fact of how much space and the amount of ideas that I have on my YouTube channel is going to be like really random. So yes, this is the website I've been building. So as you can see, I'm pretty sure that's AI generated, that pony that I just did, because I've got something to do with Lunar New Year, which is coming out about next month. There you go. This is the website that I've been doing here, and as you can see, I've actually got lots of creations. All of these have been taken. The photos that you can see here, they're all photos I've taken right inside of my house here, which is where I am at the moment. And yes, there's just so much stuff I can't really quite recall of what I've just been doing. This is me at the Handrum stores, and these are some of the little badges that I've been making here. Okay, so that looks quite cute. I think these were Halloween items. And then this one here was a Christmas 2022 item, and I think that item might have been given away. Might be totally wrong. But anyways, let me just show you on some of the things I've been doing here. So this is our range. The problem about building websites is that you got to really contend a lot more time doing so. And the problem is that when you're building a website, I think that's the thing. If you are really forced to build a website, well then unfortunately you're going to really deprive of sleep. So it's probably best that when you're building a website, you really need some rest. Yeah, you know what? That's very much obvious, isn't it? And then there's also this About Us and FAQ tab, which I might do a massive update about. Okay, so that's quite nice to know. I could do like a box of various questions and answers right here. Of course, the website hasn't been that perfect, and I mean, I'm hating it so much. In fact, this is the job that I really seem to not like the most, because it really overshadows the rest of what my YouTube channel is like, but also the rest of what I normally tend to do as a person, reviewing toys, presenting the toys, and that's it. And then, of course, you've got your services. That's it. And then you've also got this. Honestly, and there's also these printable origami instructions. I did like a Deviant, actually it's an Ibis Paint art sort of thing that I did, that I've just done so far. So I'm really speaking rough and readily here because I'm not yet straightforward that clear of what I'm speaking here at the moment here, guys. And the content that I'm making here is fairly different to what, as I said earlier before, it's so significantly different than what I usually do on my YouTube channel. And sorry if I'm actually sort of stuttering here because I can't speak like a flipping professional. Right, deep breaths. No need to urge to murder. So this is the website that I've been composing and I've been building here, and this is what I've been doing here. And as you can see, there is a lot of information here. Some of it has been AI generated as well too. Some of it has been got rid of, dead sentences or dead words, and then, dead sentences. And I've just got my freaking keyboard because I haven't got that much room to sit my keyboard anywhere else other than just my workbench. But yeah, this is the website I've been building, and there's actually quite a lot of origami instructions that I've been composing about. So please respect me on that point that I've actually been doing here. I might as well talk about my website on another video's time because actually, it's been killing me so much though, because obviously I've been doing a lot of stuff like toy reviews, and I mean, where am I else am I going to be taking a complete another break from making a video that talks about my website? So I've been running here, but it's just that, building websites is absolutely, the thing about them, it's just absolutely stressful because, you got to make PDFs, you got to make different links and blah, blah, blah. All that stuff around here, it's just way too much. It's far too much. Like, literally, stop. I can't, I'm sorry, I just have to rant here at this point here because, building websites, it's not fun because all it does is that it deviates my lifestyle. But then that's the thing to go. I'm literally coming up to about 25. I'm already 25 freaking years old. Okay, so please respect me on that point here. I'm sorry if I'm starting to rant here because that's the part that's been troubling me. Okay, so the thing that has been troubling me is all to do with my website composition and that sort of whatnot. Okay, so building websites, it's not at all. The real thing about building websites is that you have to really rely on how much time you really want to compose, and the fact that because it's such a complex job, you need to go to sleep, and that's it. Sorry for ranting, but let me move on to something that's actually going to be really fun to end the video. And let me show you what I'm going to do. Okay, I've been hawking around across through eBay, and as I said earlier on before, the sellers will kill eBay, and it is possible. With that being said, of course, I've been searching around for every Tomy and Trackmaster train that I've always been yearning to buy every year, of course, or every day, every month or week. But then, hey, I can't always seem to do that somehow. It wouldn't always work at that point because, having to get a train set like this, I mean, to basically make a train set like that, wouldn't that be, would that be fair? No, it wouldn't be that fair because, I'm basically wasting money. So, there's just so much stuff. So, yeah, I could tell with guys, like, I've been a complete slideshow freak of building trains. Of course, there's a lot of Tomy Play-Rail trains and Tomica type trains. Oh, there's some nice wagons here. And honestly, the reason why I've been highly speculating on Tomy and Trackmaster trains is because, well, I've been searching around across through eBay to try and think of a way to buy toy trains and whatnot. So, how would I even get myself, excited about this? Well, it's not always that exciting because you don't know how you're going to really think about whatever thing you're going to be buying. So, that's the thing about it. Oh, well. Anyways, so that's a nice looking train. I could have just bought a spare one to contend with. I don't know. That's just how it is somehow. We've also got more of these other Shinkansen bullet trains that I've got here at the moment somehow. This could be quite good in this way somehow. Maybe if I can have a look at it. Is it working? Don't know if it is, but it could probably be working. I'm not quite... It looks quite clean and fresh, that one there. Anyways, let me just go ahead and see what trains... Ooh, what is that? For parts of repair, but is it actually working? The Joban line. I've never seen a train like this before. Oh, it's not currently working. That's not good. Oh, runs on C-size battery. Oh, that's not very good. Maybe. Who knows about that? Okay, so this could be about it. Right, so, where was I thinking? Out from the tuff. Okay, all that random crap, which I don't really need to know about that, because maybe that's why I get rid of these, because I need to make some space for making videos, because, hey, that's what it is. Anyways, so, as I'm making this video during January, what's notable here is that I've been a bit mentally blank so far, because what I've witnessed, as it's January, a lot of the toys have been, well, let's just say, I don't know if all of the prices have been plummeted so far. Nice, isn't it, when the prices do plummet? Ooh, a Tony James with a AA battery figure version. I really want the Oigara Railway Tommy Thomas and the James. That seems to be sold in that sort of fashion. Oh, Hero. That's quite a nice rendition of Hero. Looks pretty cool. It's a Tommy Pyro Hero. And what else do I really want? Man, let me just go back. Oh, hold up. There's another site that's much better than eBay. Let me go to Shopee. And even though I'm not living in Malaysia, this is a good website. And obviously, I've actually decided to go for Shopee because that's actually a website that is similar to eBay, but it's mainly exclusive to the Southeast Asian sort of vibe. There's actually quite a lot of different things which are being sold here, and there's more trains being sold here, and the best part is that most, if not all of it, is sold cheap as chips. So thank goodness for that. Malaysia has a much significantly well worth buy to purchase toy trains, and I mean I really like it because of the way it's been. Ooh, I love how it's been built. We've got some very good designs here. Therefore, it sounds really nice. So we've got a lot of like this sort of stuff being made. Is that like is that like a custom? I can't really tell. Oh, the Hogwarts Express train. 218 ringgits. That's the 213 ringgits, 0.58. Okay, how much is that to Great British pounds? £39. So why would I think about purchasing this on Shopee as it looks fresh? One concerning factor is that this train is tender driven. It could have been a locomotive powered engine. So why would it be powered on the tender instead of the engine? That's a bit strange, having that. But yes, we got a nice Harry Potter themed train. We got some more stuff like this. And oh yes, the Disney ones are also very, very nice. We've got Toby. Quite nice. We've got a Toby, but there's actually even more toy trains. There are a lot of Percys. There's so many Percys around here, it's not funny. And then there's also this train here. I like that. It's that one there. Oh, this one looks quite cool. We've got like a front and a back carriage. But does it have like... Oh, okay, so that looks quite nice. It's a very awesome train to have. I like that sort of design. Very good fashion. Indeed, isn't it? It's also got like a D51 on the back there. Noticing of how much time I've been having to go with on, you know, to try and build some really awesome stuff and build some very good collections here. Mind you, I feel like I am. But yeah, most of the train prices that you get in Malaysia are fairly much more cheaper because they are closer to the Asian market. And the other thing is that most, if not all, of these trains are sold at a very good price, including this C61 locomotive, which I believe is the, I wouldn't say it's the fastest steam engine in Japan. I'll probably say the C62 is. And what's that? Ooh, that is a big box special of different trains. We've got a Demon Slayer train, which looks like this. Well, actually, it's this one there. And then there's also a train which looks like that. The C62 and also the C... What's that one there? Oh, wow. This one looks really awesome. I've never ever seen a train like this before. An N700. And then there's also... Oh, that's a big one. Wow, blimey. And then there's also an E3 with another train. I like that one, actually. It looks quite cool, doesn't it? Very, very nice. Anyway, so that is it on me looking at all of the weird stuff so far, talking about Malaysia and also talking about trains. And I'm about to head up to the reservoir at the moment here because I need to take some fresh air after having a long rant about my website my room updates and other whatnot. So please respect my body here, because obviously it is needing of some time out to try and catch some fresh air. And please don't try and haggle me over because, or badger me about when is my website going to be updated, because the only thing I have to say to you is please be very patient, because all I'm trying to do is to think of some radical ideas that will be really well worthy of what's there. So all of you guys who have been watching my videos and whatnot should be really under control. In that case, just let myself be and let me do all of the hard work as best I can, because it really means to me as an actual person working on YouTube. As always, if you really enjoyed this video, especially that tour around, please give this video a very good like. Subscribe for more for that videos in the future. And as always, that's it. Thanks so much for watching, and bye for now. And I don't know what to really say. That's all I could really think of. Okay, bye.